So this is Survival Vacancy, says it right there. It's a cross between Factorio and Oxygen Not Included. I know it's a very obvious X meets Y sort of comparison, but it does the job. This is an early access game that came out on Steam in October, and still fairly early days, but there's still plenty to do. And it is very Factorio in the sense that you do start out doing everything very, very manually indeed, and everything is very slow as you build things manually. But slowly but surely, you'll build a little empire. The whole point is basically trying to get some people to move in and help you out, but you have to make sure that you have the ability to feed them and stuff like that. And eventually, on the surface, monsters will spawn, but really, that won't happen for hours, possibly days, because it is quite a slow game. So we start out by just mining below the surface, and making a bit of space, Oxygen Not Included style, all these different ores and things like that. So we actually do have quite a bit in our inventory already. We have some algae, some iron ore, some stone, and some copper ore, depending what I'm mining at the moment. At the moment it's copper ore. Obviously, each time you play it, it's randomly generated because it's 2019. And now you will see, I keep on leaving these little things behind, seemingly. What they are is deposits, or is where you mine, essentially. So first of all, I just need to keep on clearing some space out because we will need a lot of space for machines and sort of conveyor belts and various things like that. Right, so we've made a decent amount. Some of this stuff is impenetrable, although I don't think I've actually come across any impenetrable land yet. The surface, that's impenetrable, but there's also that rock appears lower down as well. So what we have to start with is a manual maker, and this, when you actually stand above it, means you can actually craft various things. Components, and you can set up machines and automation that will eventually allow you to make each of these components and take those components and put them into a different machine to build advanced stuff. It's all very complicated, and it does. It's a good idea to actually take a while to actually see exactly what the crafting requirements of everything are. The starting point is always iron ore or copper ore, and slightly later on algae for food, because the colonists will need food. Now there is a tutorial. It's a bit basic at the moment, but you can have it up here. And at the moment what we need to do is make an excavator. I'll leave that up there because it will help me out. Right, excavator is one of these. There it is. This is our mining tool. Now what I've done, what you can do, and you shouldn't do really, is try to make all the little components separately, like a bearing, and which comes from iron ingots, which comes from iron ore, and all that, all eventually making the excavator. But with the manual maker, you just have to make sure that you've got all the stuff in your inventory that will go into making everything, and then just click craft, and it'll slowly but surely do it. If you have all these components in your inventory, it'll be a lot quicker to craft. But yeah, when you're doing it manually, it's like Factorio. When you're doing it manually, it'll do everything automatically manually, if you see what I mean. But yeah, if you actually want to automate everything properly, you will actually have to make a machine for every component. So it is quite a undertaking, to say the least. Right, so we've got an excavator, and now what we can do, click on next, is bung the excavator on to there. Now, so long as I'm standing near it, it'll actually mine automatically. So you see you've got 3 copper ores, 4 copper ores, and so on. We click it to actually transfer it into my inventory, like so. As soon as I walk away though, it stops, because we will need to power it. I'll probably move the manual maker later. So what we need to do now is make another excavator. Oh, I haven't actually got this stuff yet. I haven't really got much iron ore, have I? That's why. Unfortunately, this top layer I've been mining out ain't great for that. So, we can start doing this. You can actually see on the right, everything's now lit up, which means I now have enough iron ore. But let me just gather a little bit more. The green stuff's algae. Just ignore that for now. Grab. Oh, here we go. You see that block there? Cannot be dagged through. Dag. So we're going to ignore that. Let's go back and make ourselves a wonderful, wonderful excavator, which will take another 24 seconds. It is painfully slow at first, but as usual with these games, as soon as you start automating everything, everything's good. So it does encourage you to even automate the basic tasks. For instance, we will need to start making blocks, which are these things. Structural support. They're just literally blocks you can place anywhere. Because after you've mined everything out, you will need to actually make some blocks to put certain machines on. Certain machines need to stand on structural support. Right, so we've got 2 excavators. Let's bung that one onto there instead. Irritatingly, these will deplete. So we've got, that one's 881, that one's 904. So it's best to really kind of place them on an area where there's actually loads of deposits, if you can. Right, so if I go between them... Oh, hang on, that's actually full up. So if I go between them, they will work. It's going to be a slow old process if we don't actually give it any power, though. Let's just skip on the tutorial a little bit. So now it is electricity time. So we'll need to go over here and make a wind generator. Components for this, like that. Quite a lot of stone. Now stone, as far as I know, you can't actually automate mining stone. I think you have to do that yourself, maybe? Probably. There might be a machine for it. Anyway, so now we've got our wind power. So let's place that on the surface. It has to be on the surface. Now that's going to generate batteries, but we can't do anything with the batteries just yet because we will need a little power station. Another 16 seconds. So once we've crafted this, we need to bung it on. I think this will actually need some structural support. So this will take a little bit of time. Do 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 do. Ha! Yes, power station will need some structural support, so we'll actually have to do that. So there's a power station. So the we'll also need. Oh god, we need a lot of things. We'll need to start setting up the equivalent of this game's conveyor belts, which are the rails. Each tile of this takes 7 seconds to craft. It is in your best interests to automate this quite early on, because all you need for this is iron ore and a machine that will. Well, you'll need furnaces as well. It's going to be a whole thing. I'm going to try and place the track as close to the power station as possible, so that we won't need to do too much. I'll get a carrier as well. This is an absolute beast of a thing to craft. Look at all that stuff. It's a lot. Just to craft one. The carrier is literally just like a train thing. You'll see when I eventually get around to crafting it. You can move around a little bit, you can do stuff whilst you're crafting. So long as you stay within the range of the machine, you're good to go. Yeah, you can see the tutorial is a little basic. It'll only take you so far as well. There is a kind of a knowledge-based thing here, but it's clearly like fairly primitive at the moment. So I think I now have the ability to... Let's bung in structural support. Get rid of that. Put the power station there. And now the carrier rail there. There, the little train that's going to go backwards and forwards now between the two. So let's double click on the machine. Now we need to place an output. So there. There we go. Now the grabber is pulling out whatever's in this machine over here, which is batteries. Hang on, let's just click that. You can see it's got 10 batteries stored as it's been creating them. And the batteries will go down here and eventually get placed into this machine, but only once I've made sure that it's got a little green input arrow. And there we go, the batteries are now bunging themselves into here. And we have power. Now I have placed the power machine quite a long way away from the miners, so we'll need to start creating a lot of power connectors now. These are wires, and these take 6 seconds a tile to create as well, so we will be here some time. Okay, so let's wire up the miners to the power generator. I have 15 power connectors. And now this is a bit fiddly and needs some work, according to the devs. I can see why as well, because it doesn't automatically link everything up. Hopefully, though, if we just do it in one go, it might work. Right, has that worked? Connected and network current energy 4000. You have to make sure that both of those are positive. If it says connected and there's 0 joules, it's because it isn't quite connected up. But yeah, it seems like both of these are connected and have the energy available, so all we need to do now is empty the machine of the existing stuff, because that's already full up. And there. Now from now on, they will actually automatically mine, and we'll have to keep on emptying them. And what you can do, in fact, let's get rid of this. I'm going to move this just out of the way. What you can do is make some storage boxes. I think I'll do that early on. Unfortunately, these require an absolute bollocks ton of stuffs. It's a mixture of both, so it's just a lot of things. I'm going to start running out of ore soon. So what we also need to do is set up some furnaces to turn those bits of iron ore into actual usable bars, because iron ore on its own ain't great. I think I'm ahead of the tutorial now. Yeah, well ahead. Then, at the moment in the tutorial, it just dumps you into then tells you what you have to do for the next, several hours. So it's not hugely useful, so I'll just get rid of that for now. Right, so we now have a little boxy poos. What I'm going to do is put that there. Now I'm going to need some... How much of rail have I got? None. Right, I'm going to have to make a little bit of extra carrier rail. And ideally I need to make another box and all. And I also need another carrier. And what I'm going to do here is set up another little rail system. It's going to be incredibly tiny. I'm just going to put one rail here and one carrier on it, so effectively the copper ore goes into the box. Although, having said that, it might be best to actually feed it directly into the smelter. I don't think there's any point in storing the ore. We want to store the iron bars, but not the ore, so once I've just done this, I'll start digging stuff out a bit, I think, because we will need a bit more space. Yeah, so let's actually pull that up. It won't cost us anything to do this. And let's make a little bit more extra space. And we'll put a smelter directly underneath the generator. Not quite sure what's going to go on here. The manual maker is still there, technically. Not quite sure if that's intentional or not. Right, so what we'll do now is make ourselves a smelter, which is... Ooh, it looks like we're not able to make certain things. It's greyed out. Can I make it? Oh, I might have to... So where's the smelter? There it is. Right. Thankfully I can craft this, but that's using pretty much all of my stuff, and I'll need to get some more iron ore once this is crafted. Right, some crafting later. So what I need to do is now build some structural support. Ooh, I'll actually dig it a little bit more out, actually. Because we will be... I think the smelter is reasonably tall. We'll put the structural support to make sure that we can actually put the smelter down. Smelter's there. As you can see, you can't put the smelter anywhere. It has to be on structural support. So if we put that there, then we can put in... We need some more track. Just one of these. Now this is actually quite reasonably cheap to make. It just requires iron ingot and copper ingots. So you can automate making this at some point quite quickly on. We won't do that just yet. So I'm going to put down this there. This on top of it. And then do what we did before. Change that to that. And that to... that. And now they'll be feeding in. Eventually. Once we've actually chosen the recipe, which is copper in this case. Now we also need power. As soon as you walk away from it, it'll stop working. So we'll need some more wire. You can see why you actually start to need to really want to automate a lot of the making of this stuff. Wire is not too bad, because you just have to set up a machine that first of all the smelter, and then a component maker machine, which will turn it into a power connector, which ain't too bad. Now we've got 4 power connectors here. Now this is where things get a little fiddly. What I'll have to do is take out the existing wire and replace it, just for weird reasons. Now I need to make this into a crossroads, and then we need to sort of do that. That should work now. I've also set up a second iron ore thingamabob, so I'll have to do the same for that wire as well. Pull that up. Cycle through them. I accidentally pressed the wrong thing there. There, that should power that. So now we've got 2 machines. Now what I really should do is set up a smelter for this one as well. That really is a really stupid place now. I think I will move that. What I also want to do is set up a machine to make us some structural supports, because we need so many of those. That is kind of like a wise thing to do. So I might put that over here somewhere. Let's make... In fact, hang on. Oh yes, you do have a... I haven't even mentioned this. You have a jetpack. That's the thing down there to tell you how much juice you've got left. Just going to pull those up, just so we don't have to make any more for the time being. So I'm going to go over here. And we'll make a little... I mean, this is... I haven't come up with any, like, good, efficient ways of making all these machines yet. I'm still at the very much the learning stage, but... So don't worry, my placement is not really so like that considered. So the basic builder, which I've already made... Oh, we do need one more. Oh, you can make you can place the manual maker anywhere you want, even in the sky. That's fine, I guess. Bizarre. Right, a couple of these. And another one of those. So the basic builder goes there. Where am I putting it here? It's probably not the best place to put it here. This is... Oh, it doesn't really matter though, to be honest, because all I need is... I'm going to create a little box here. All the stone that I've ever dug up, I'm going to put into the box. And then what we'll need is to make another one of these kind of like a... Hang on, let's click on that. One of these single... I haven't found a way of making... I don't think you can put a box right next to a machine and have it feed it directly into the machine. I think I tried that previously and it just didn't work. So I think you have to have the rails and the carrier just to do something very basic like this. Now this is, say, the carrier just takes forever. To actually automate making a carrier would take... somewhere in the region of 7 months. I don't know. So this is what this is going to do is feed the stone directly into the builder, and it's going to make us some structural supports. And it's very straightforward stuff, really. Now, do we need a... Yes, we do. We need one bit of track. So this is going to be very straightforward. We could place this anywhere. But I just wanted to make sure that it was quite close to the grid. So bang and bang. Set these up, out, like that, and we need the power. We need one, possibly 2 more bits of wire. Otherwise this is not going to work. We only need to make it go 2 spaces, so I think we actually only need 2, but I'll make an extra one just in case. Right, before we go anywhere else, I will quickly grab out everything from here. This is busy. It should be busy smelting, but it's already full up. I really need to make a storage box solution there. Anyway, let's put down the wire. I can probably get away with just doing it like that. Can I? I've got to actually choose the recipe yet. Structural support. Now, what's not working? Oh yes, I got the wiring wrong. That looks like it's right, but it's not. Because that's still the crate thing. Every machine has like 2 outputs next to it and slightly further away, which is handy because it can go through floors. Now I needed to make sure that set this as an input. There we go, that's more like it. And now we are making... let's get through there. We are now making the structural supports automatically. Sadly, it's only got room for 10, so I'll have to keep on unfilling the machine. So now what we need to do is make another crate. Crates is also very difficult to make. And what I'm going to do here is make it so that we don't have to keep on emptying the iron bar machine, i.e. the smelter. So we're starting to get to the stage where we don't really have much power, unfortunately. We're not really making it fast enough. So I could do with making another one of those, but for now let's quickly burn up a few other things. Let's put in a smelter there. We'll also need to put in... Oh, was that the only one I've got? Bloody hell. We'll need another carrier rail then. And I've already got a couple of grabbers already crafted. I say grabbers, actually carriers. Oh, that's no good. Right. Oh, the wire's gone. Oh, I might actually have to go round then. I'm not quite sure they could actually exist in the same space. Didn't realise that. Well, that's fine. There's a objective in the bottom left which will guide you onwards. At the moment it's telling me to make a lot of these power things. And after this I think it goes on to suggesting you make some algae meals. Which is straightforward. That's one of the first things you need to do to make you have colonists. Or workers, wherever they are in this. You also need shelters and things. If you look at the basic builder and look at the recipes here, there's a lot of stuff that you can't make using the manual maker. Like there's a surface gun to defend yourself against enemies that attack. A material scanner C, lab for research. There's a whole research tree here. Let's go to that. And so on, really. Let's just take that up. What you can't seem to make, I don't think, is another manual maker, which means you can't have several things crafting at once to start with. But, whatever. So what I'll do here is pull that up and go around like that. Oh dear. See what I mean? It's very fiddly. It doesn't quite work very well at the moment. What I'll do is I'll place manually some crossroads like that. I don't think this is I'm not sure this is necessary, but I've done it now, so too late. Right, so this is going to feed both of these things down into the machine. Now out, out, and in. This needs to be chosen as iron ingot. What we'll also need is I think we'll have one of these storage boxes as well on both sides. We need a bit more rail. This is one one of the things I didn't actually craft many of. I'm off camera. Now I'm regretting it. Now, 2 more of these. I'm getting very throaty at the moment, so I do apologise if I'm coughing away. Anyway, put that down there, that down there. Another grabber there, another grabber there. And so again set up the machines. Same on this side. There. Now, with any luck... It's gone. The copper ingot there. That's good. No, that seemed to disappear. Possibly because I accidentally selected it or something, I don't know. This is very slow going because, look, we're not actually doing it at the moment, or we're doing it in fits and starts because of the whole lack of power situation. What I could do is, because it is a case, it's not like our carrying capacity here. It is the lack of power generation in the first place. So I'll have to make another wind generator, I think. So let's be doing that now. Oh, I can't. I might actually need to get some more copper ore, I think. Let's actually grab that directly from the source. I think this might be overkill. I think I'd actually need another smelter to actually use up all these materials. I could do that. I could set it up so... did I make a second smelter? I did actually, yes. So what I could do here is really get our generating on. We need to make a bit more carrier rail again. Just one. We need to make another grabber as well. Annoyingly, because this takes a long time. And what I'll do is have one of the miners going to one, and the other one going to the other one. What I won't have is... well, what I could do is set up a track that goes from there to there, but unfortunately there's all this stuff in the way. So now I have to do a bit of digging for the first time in a while. So I need to make out another layer. So digging isn't really that difficult at all. And once you've got a lot of things set up, you don't actually need to worry too much about gathering raw materials this way at all. However, you will still need more things like stone and... algae also. I mean, we haven't actually seen that uncovered yet, but algae provides its own deposits in the same way that we've just uncovered like an iron ore deposit. So you can set up algae extractors in the same way as the mining. Right. So we do that and that, and just get a bit of algae. So we can actually demonstrate what I said. Normally these algae deposits are very common. So far, not found a single one. This is gonna be... oh, there we go. was going to say this is going to make food production very difficult, but yeah, there's one. So what I'm going to quickly whip up here is a... As I haven't designed this very well, but I'm going to basically jerry-rig it a little bit. And instead of having... Okay, we need 2, won't we? We'll need another grabber. Well, what we'll need to do is make it so there's another track there. And we need another grabber to put that into the smelter. And then what we'll do is have it coming out of there and into there once it's all smeltered. But yes, I do need another grabber first. Well, actually, I've changed my mind. I think we're being inefficient here. I don't know why we're having separate tracks to go up to the box. I'm going to change things once I've just made this grabber. Oh, I've also made a quick another one of these. In fact, I can be doing this while standing here waiting for things to craft. This is going to require a little bit of fiddling around, as per usual. Oh, bloody hell. Yeah, it's awkward, this. So what I'll do here is have... I think that's already set up to do this. Yep, there we go. We may need more than one grabber here. So let's be doing that. There, now we've got a nice little system of battery feeding. To be honest, we don't really need this anymore, because this was to make us a load of these structural things. I'm going to turn it off. I don't think we need to make this anymore. Well, having said that, we actually... I think I need to press change recipe to actually stop it. This just switches between the different things. Right, so yeah, we don't need to worry about this anymore for the time being. And therefore we've got loads of power going into the grid. Right, over here, I mean this has gone totally pointless now. Let's pull up the crate, which will hopefully put everything into my inventory as well. I forgot about a jetpack there. Ah, come on. And what we're going to do, we're going to put it on the rail as well. And we're going to put the storage box there, like this. So this is now going to go out to there, that's going to go out to, not there, but to there. Now this doesn't seem to be getting any... Hang on, what are we doing here? Why? Oh, we need another grabber on there. So this is now, instead of going to there, it's going to there. That's going to there. Oh, these will need power, won't they? Yes. Because as soon as I get close to them, they work, but otherwise, no. Right. So we will need a little more wiring. Yeah, it doesn't quite reach, does it? I think that needs to be... Yeah. There, that should work. That needs to also smelt that. Right, with any luck, we have now got it set up correctly. We don't need... I'm just going to quickly change this, because of being inefficient with the... There we go. And finally we have a much better iron ingot storage solution. It's day 8 already. Okay, last thing to show you in this video is some intermediate stuff. So if I place this here, this is the component maker. What I can do is now take that iron ingot and put it through here and make one of these intermediate things, like a bearing simply requires iron ingots. So we could make the recipe that, or you could do a I think springs are also the same. Metal sheets require both copper and iron, so what we need to do is have that crate and that crate both feeding into the machine. Otherwise it would just be a case of doing the usual bungaroo. And then we can also, I mean, this crate isn't placed in the best position because we might want to, for instance, take the raw materials and put it into a different machine elsewhere. But as I say, I'm just showing the basics here. Right, so we change the recipe to bearing, and we need to power the machine as well. Not quite sure we've actually got the reach for this. Could do it directly off here, but we know we'd need more cable. But yeah, that's how you do it. And then you go onto the algae machine maker over here. We'd have to make that, where is it? It's harvester. And you need simple transmission box for that. What you can do here really is just make them yourself and then feed them into the machine. However, these are actually slightly onerous to make, 13, But yeah, you could automate this. All you need is to make two bearings that machine down there is making, and some copper ingot as well, and you'd immediately be able to make a nice little... Well, using a component builder, you'll be able to make these automatically, which is rather nice. I'm sure you'll agree. Right, okay, so we'll bring this to a close. I mean, my current objective, all I need to do is make some more rail and some more wire, and we'll have done that. So let's actually head towards doing that, once we've just done this algae generator thing. And now I need to open my inventory, double-click on... well, single-click on that, and now it is actually now making us one harvester. And in the meantime, let's just quickly finish off the goal in the bottom left. Right, so this should be the last one. There we go. Oh, current objective, consume energy in a single day. That's not the same as it was last time. Last time it was about the algae thing. Huh. Well, fine. Well, I'll just quickly show you the algae thing. I've already made both the harvester, but I've also made a food generator thing in the basic machine builder. And this is just a case of putting this down, harvester. Oop, hang on. And the food processor. I think, unfortunately, this does need power. Also needs this. And the harvester will then you'd have to set up the usual stuff. I've actually got that. Oh, yeah. I think I've got the right stuff. So we'd actually have to wire that up to the grid. But yeah, you can see how that works. We'll eventually get algae meals out of that, which is another one of our many, many goals. But yeah, we'll stop here. This has been... Oh, hello. I think the power thing just completed. Oh, apparently, yes, I am generating a lot in a day, so that's fine. So yes, now we have the craft 30 algae meals, which comes out of there. And once you wire that up, it'll all be good. In fact, I might... Could I actually... No, I don't think I can quite reach with the wiring I've got. But you get the idea. Right, we'll stop here. Yeah, we may play some more of this if anyone's interested. But yeah, we'll see. Right, thanks for watching. Do subscribe to the channel to be notified when new stuff goes live. All the latest and best new indie games around. Check the link to the Patreon if you want to support us. Keep us going. I'll see you next time.